Hey there, and welcome to The Intersections. I'm your host, Mike Mooney, and this is designed to help you release limiting beliefs about who you are so that you can see not only yourself through the eyes of the source of creation who lives inside you, but also so that you can see reality and create the life that you deeply desire. I want to start today talking about some concepts that are so important, especially if you've kind of been maybe exploring concepts with the law of attraction and understanding the laws of the universe and you know, a lot of people, everybody probably at this point knows what the law of attraction is, but they may not realize that the law of attraction works for you, works with you, but the law of attraction is not you. And there's another really important factor that I'm trying to figure out how exactly to explain in a way that everybody can really grasp this concept. You know, Abraham Hicks is an incredible spiritual teacher, and you can do your own research on that and decide where you fall, where you land with that. But something that they highlight that's extremely important is the power of feeling good, of feeling pleasure. And I'm going to do a separate video teaching about what pleasure is, why it's important, why it's relevant, and how it fits into the nature of God and the nature of existence. But I want to talk about something that is, in the context of feeling good, something that many people, probably everybody, struggle with at some point in one way or another, and that is feeling bad, feeling anxiety. And so I just want to kind of use some basic geometry to kind of explain something that's connected to feeling bad, in contrast to knowing who you are as an extension of source energy or an expression of the tree of life. You know, the language of trees, the language of saying tree of life, or tree of knowledge of good and evil, those are trees represent beings. They represent cosmic beings, for that matter, not just human beings, and not at all human beings. They represent cosmic realities that are represented throughout the entirety of the universe. And we try to understand these massive concepts, these dimensional concepts. But the understanding of a tree expresses its nature in the term, in what we might call a fruit. An apple tree produces fruit, and that's an expression of the tree. Does that make sense? Now, we are an expression of a tree. We are also grafted into that tree, so we bear the nature of the tree so that we can also bear the expression of our tree. So that's a very complex thing to think about. And so I'm gonna stop there on that and move over to this other concept it's a bit of a challenge to understand, but I want to work through it here. So a lot of people, I'll say everybody, looks at life and they see a subject, and it is the lack of the subject, or it is the presence of the subject. And those are two ends of the same stick. And so what happens is we have desires in our heart, and that desire in your heart is to have the presence of whatever thing it is. Maybe it's a relationship, or maybe it's an improvement of a relationship that already exists, or just simply having peace, simply having more money, bigger house, you know, material things in general. Or it could be that you're needing to work out, you know, a job situation. You look at it this way: I want it, and I have it, or I don't have it. I have the lack of it. And when we look at lack, what happens is we actually attract, and this is where the law of attraction is important, we attract more electromagnetic thoughts that resemble or resonate with that thought, which is the lack of the thing we want. And it's very difficult, almost impossible, to see the lack of something and then transition and somehow get yourself over here to where you can look at the presence of that thing, which would make you feel good. So how do I feel good? Not with looking at something that is not currently present in my physical reality. And this is where, so that's the law of attraction, very basically understood. There's a higher law for us humans that applies and is incredibly important, and it's what I call the law of identity. The law of identity says that all things have an identity or an arrangement of their frequencies and their energy. Or you could use the word spirit, but that word gets a little bit misconstrued, I think, because of religion. So it's easier to say that anything has an identity based on the arrangement of its energy. So you could say like a fire, for example, is an arrangement of energy. It's a release of energy from matter, but it's arranged in a certain way. You could say that gasoline while it contributes to a fire potentially, it is its own substance and it has its own arrangement of particles or atoms, and those atoms are intrinsically energy. Everything is. So gasoline has its own identity based on the arrangement of what's in it. Well, you are the exact same way. So whatever the thing is that you're looking at has two ends of a stick, let's say two ends of its existence, the presence of it or the lack of it. And if you're looking at those, it takes a lot of focus and a lot of self-discipline and self-control to be focused over here. Let me give you a shortcut that is, I think, maybe one of the most profound things I've ever learned, which is that when you use the law of identity, you don't have to deal with the law of attraction nearly as much. You can use the law of attraction more effectively, is a better way to say that. You don't look like this. You are presence. You are I am. And you do not exist as present or lack of present. It's not possible for you to be that way. You are an eternal being. And you are an expression, an extension, or the Bible uses the word son also, because a son is an expression of a genetic parent. You are an expression of the source of all creation and all life. And why is that relevant? Because when some days you're looking around going, oh, who cares what I'm an expression of? I just can't get my life together. And it's important to know I'm an expression of a specific type of energy, which is source energy. It's the code, it's the frequency, it's the resonant reality of all existence that identifies itself all the way through the Bible and all throughout history, and right now identifies itself as I am. You are an expression of I am. Now, I am doesn't exist on a stick like that. It doesn't exist linearly. I am exists like this. I am as a circle, because this is the only way for I am to express its own nature as the beginning, spelled that wrong, and the end. I can't spell it all today. The end. How can that be both? If it was this, it couldn't be both. It has to bend reality. And so what you're really seeing here with I am being the beginning and the end is I am as a feedback loop. I am as a circle of self-awareness. And when you recognize that this is what you look like, anytime you're looking at a stick, whether it's, again, material or emotional or intellectual, cognitive, social, it doesn't matter. If you're looking at something and it's causing you to feel bad, stop looking at it and look at yourself. Look at who you are. You are an infinite being. You are an eternal being. You say, well, that doesn't matter. I'm here now and it's uncomfortable. And the answer to that is what that means, that's a symptom of you putting your focus onto something outside of you and saying, it's not matching with what I want. Now you're still focused outwardly on something that has two ends. So focus inwardly on who you are. Even if you focus on something that you want inwardly, you might become aware of the lack of it being in your physical reality. But you are in your physical reality. You are an extension of something that cannot end and did not start, because it's outside of time. That's who you are. And when you become aware of yourself, and you can let go of all the details, you can even have to think about concepts like being eternal. If you could just think, I am, and become aware inside your body, and this is where the intersections is really important. Spirituality intersects with physicality, intersects with philosophy and free thought or creative thought. If you can start with, I am a spiritual being in a physical body, and just become aware of the smallest parts. Your heart is beating and you have nothing to do with it. It's just beating. Why? Because you're an extension of source energy. You're an extension of life. You're an extension of truth. And when you allow yourself to revel and to be consumed by the amazing, mind-blowing reality that you exist, that you are, that you have a life, and that you have the capacity for all things. All things are possible with you, because the source of all life is in every cell of your physical body. And so you can look at your physical body and you might say, well, my physical body's got all kinds of ailments, right? I've got problems. Now you're back to looking at this stick. So physical biology is potentially an external reality. So you have your physical self, which is your kind of your lowest frequency. It's collapsed matter. You have your, a little bit higher up here, you've got your psychology or your soul. And your soul is the thoughts that you have. It's your mind, and this is a hard thing to control sometimes if you're not practicing with meditation. And then you have I am up here, which is your spirit or your energy, the essence of who you really are. This exists on a timeline like this. Soul exists that way as well, but I am does not. I am exists as a circle. And so you can find, if you can find a way to quiet your physical body and your soul and become aware of who you really are and the pure pleasure that exists between you and the source within you, I can promise you the bad feelings will go away. It's just the way it works. It's law. It's the law of identity. Identity is the arrangement of energy. You are an eternal arrangement of energy. And so I hope that you're able to take this and sit with it and allow this concept to help really distract you, even if it's just as simple as a distraction. Get your mind off of externalities, off of the outside world, off of things that are linear and are shaped like this, and get your attention, your awareness onto I am, onto your eternal self in connection with source, living in this space-time right now with no demands. Nothing in your reality is expecting anything from you except for you to be you and to allow yourself to function from this place of awareness that I am. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Mike Mooney, and I'm the host of The Intersections, and I would humbly ask that you would subscribe to this channel. Check out our social media on Instagram, which is at _intersections, spelled like normal intersections. Check me out on Twitter, also at _, and this is a little bit different. It's INTERSXIONS. And subscribe and follow me, and if you would, share this with anybody that you can on social media. We want to get this message out as much as we can. We're here to help you release limiting beliefs about yourself so that you can see who you really are and create the life that you desire and deserve. I love you. There's great love for you here, and I look forward to talking to you soon.